That sounds unbelievable. How can a narrow waterway somewhere in the Middle East suddenly affect the entire global economy? And why are investors so worried about it during the Iran Israel conflict? That is an excellent question because the Strait of Hormuz is one of the most important energy checkpoints in the world. In fact, a massive portion of global oil shipments passes through this narrow route every day. In this video, we will understand what is Strait of Hormuz actually, why it is so important for global oil supply, and what could happen to oil prices and markets if this route is disrupted. Once you understand its importance, you will see why energy traders and investors watch this region so closely. The Strait of Hormuz is a narrow waterway connecting the Persian Gulf to the open ocean. Several major oil producing countries ship their crude oil through this route. Because of this, it has become one of the most critical oil transit points in the world. And this is where the numbers become very interesting. Roughly 20% of the global oil shipments pass through the Strait of Hormuz. That means nearly 1 out of every 5 barrels of oil traded globally travels through this narrow passage. If anything disrupts shipping in this region, global energy supply could be affected very quickly. And that possibility is exactly what is making the markets nervous. Whenever geopolitical tensions rise in the Middle East, traders start worrying about the safety of shipping routes. Even the possibility of disruption can trigger strong reactions in the energy market because oil traders begin pricing in the risk that supply could become limited. And when markets start pricing in supply risk, oil prices can move very quickly. If shipping routes become risky or blocked, global oil supply may fall. When supply falls but demand remains strong, prices rise sharply. This kind of sudden price increase is often called as an oil shock. Oil shock can influence the inflation, economic growth, and financial market. And that is where the impact spreads across the entire global economy. When oil prices surge suddenly, transportation becomes expensive, manufacturing cost increases, inflation rises across many economies. That is why investors closely watch the Strait of Hormuz wherever geopolitical tensions escalate. So, even though the Strait of Hormuz looks like a small shipping route on the map, it has the power to influence the entire global energy system. If you want to understand how global events like the war and energy markets influence the economy, subscribe to the channel because we break down the macro forces that move the global markets here very clearly.